Good morning, family. I hope that you all are having an amazing morning. It's a chilly morning here in Johannesburg. I'm on my way now to ELDORADO Park Secondary School. I'm not sure if you guys can remember Cassivan, who is booked into our male facility at our organization, the Institution of Grace. So I'm not sure if you guys can remember Cassivan. Cassivan is a young boy who booked, and ever since he's been booked into our facility, we've tried to ensure that we still keep one of the priorities a priority. And one of those priorities were ensuring that we get to a point in his recovery program where he can also further his education. Now, it was a very tough decision for this family to make when Cassivan booked into our facility. One, Cassivan was in matric. Two, the family was not sure if they are making the right decision. But the family had to decide. The family had to make a very tough decision. And one of the many tough decisions they had to make was that they had to come together as a family, and they had to conclude that short-term pain will ultimately result in long-term gain. They had to conclude that saving their son now must be a higher priority than losing him for the rest of their lives. So they done what was very tough for them to do. They made a decision that was very tough for them. They came together as a family, together with Cassivan, their son, and they decided that because he has a drug addiction problem, they're going to book him into our facility and they're going to ensure that he finds recovery. And that's exactly what they done. So it was a decision that the family made together with Cassivan, and when they made this decision, Cassivan booked into our facility, and ever since then, he's been doing very, 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 very well. He's been going through his process with due diligence. He's been ensuring that he sticks through the process, doing everything that's required of him to do. And I'm on my way now again to the school to meet with the teachers, just so that they can give us feedback in regards to what's the progress that has been made since our last discussion. Our last discussion was that they should give us feedback in regards to how Cassivan can ultimately also not only find restoration, but ensures that they, as a school, try and come on board in terms of facilitating the required processes so that Cassivan can also finish his matric. That was our last discussions that we've had. So we're going back now to revisit those conversations and just to ensure that we try and put our best foot forward. Also, what gives me great joy is that we are now also, as you guys have seen, in relationship with, sorry about that, sometimes when my hand goes over my face, it's because I'm getting a call while I'm on the live, so I have to reject the call while I'm on the live. So I do apologize for my hand moving over my face from time to time. It just means that I'm getting a call while I'm on the live video, and then I have to reject the call. So as I was saying, yeah, we are in relationship with MSc Business College, and that is why restoration without education really is something that we don't want to birth or bring into our communities. We want to ensure that into our communities we introduce not only recovering addicts, but also educated addicts. We believe that the future of our community is not going to change if we only introduce addicts who are recovered. No, we must ensure that we, with everything we have, introduce into our communities not only recovered addicts, but addicts who has education, recovering addicts who has understood the power of education. So I'm on my way to the school now. I'm on my way to ELDORADO Park Secondary. It's the blue school, and we're excited to see what the outcome is going to be. I just want to greet a few people. I see United Independent Movement. As you guys have seen on my social media, that is the political party that I am affiliated to, gladly associated with, and boldly desire to grow towards 2024. So if you don't have a political home, you can come over to ours, okay? Because we're gonna ensure that we do what we have to do to stand a good chance in 2024. With that being said, let me just greet a few people who's on this live. Sanzi, Bianca, Mel, Natasha, Nabriska, is that how you pronounce it? Nabriska, and Elizabeth, and so many other people. So I want you guys to stay on this live. I'm turning down now onto the golden. So yeah, so I'm here now, and that's why it's important. It's important that we ensure and we introduce to the addict what we call at our organization holistic recovery. Holistic recovery is important. Let me just get past this truck here, family. I'll be with you soon. Just wanted to get past that truck quickly, and then yeah. So holistic recovery is what we introduce. You know, we believe that every addict is different, every family is different, every circumstance, every situation is different, and that is why every situation needs to be treated differently. You cannot have a blanket approach. You know, the minute we take a blanket approach to problems in general, and then we generalize pain, we generalize suffering, and everyone's pain and everyone's level of suffering is different. And that is why it's so important that we never generalize our approach. We always need to ensure that we try and individualize our approach. When we individualize our approach, that's when we stand a better chance to connect with the people, connect with the family, and to bring ultimate change. I just want to ensure that I just respond to this comment here. Thank you for all your hard work with the youth. You are an inspiration to a lot of people. Thank you so much to you, my president, to you, my SG, to you, my VP, and to our amazing NEC leadership. You guys are just as amazing, and I know that together we're going to do what we need to do. We're going to build towards 2024. God's working it out for us. The first shall be last, the last shall be first, and we're going to ensure that we don't, as a political party, deliver empty promises to people. We're going to ensure, as the United Independent Movement, that we just deliver. You know, we want to bring back authenticity to politics. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. I'm going to come back to United Independent Movement, which is my political party, and the political party that I'm affiliated with, or rather not my political party. It's the political party to which I am the national youth leader. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. I just want to finish what I was saying, that it's important that we don't have a blanket approach. We need to have that individualistic approach. It's that individualistic approach that gives us the ability to, with great focus, bring solution-orientated thoughts, solution-orientated ideas, solution-orientated strategies. And when we have that unique approach, when we have that specific approach, when we go to the situation with the detail, that's when we actually identify that the depth of pain and the depth of hurt is different. So why politics? Why politics? Let me show you quickly, just while I'm driving past this traffic light. That's why politics. Because traffic lights aren't working. Why politics? Because there are some stuff that only politics can see to. When our lights aren't working and there's no water, there's constant load shedding, and the crime's increasing, and corruption's increasing, and the government is failing us like they are. Why politics? The question that we must ask ourselves is, why not politics? Politics controls the narrative of many things, if not all things. And the question we must ask ourselves is this: what has happened to South Africa in the absence of us voting? What has happened in South Africa in the absence of our involvement in politics? Then we must ask again, what has been the result of our absence? Then we must ask again, what will the future be if politics constantly controls our everyday life, but does so with us not being involved in it, with us not raising our opinions, with us not stating our case? Because politics will directly impact the future of our children. I am driving now to a school. When that child finishes matric, the political system within South Africa can either make that child succeed or can make that child become another statistic. Yes, I know the onus is always on you as an individual. The onus is always on you as an individual to strive, to build, to push, to want to be, to want to become a better person. But we must not sit back and lie to ourselves and say that our lives in South Africa will become better if we rather just keep quiet about what's happening in politics. So why did I choose the United Independent Movement? I chose the United Independent Movement because it was more than a political party. It was more than a party that just endorsed political rhetoric. It was a political party who done more than just speak about what they're going to do. It was more than a political party. It was a family, and it is a family. That's why I joined the United Independent Movement. I've got a passion for politics. I've got a passion for people. I've got a passion for church. I've got a passion for the addict. And I have seen in my years of working with those in drug addiction that what do I say to the addict? What do I say to the family of the addict when they come to the end of their program and I have to send them into a system that's designed to fail them? We have to send them into a system that's designed to make them fall short in life. We have to send them into a system recovered, but as a recovering addict, the political system is designed in such a way where they are still marginalized, where they are still ostracized, as if being in addiction and being marginalized and being ostracized was not enough. But they come into their communities, and because of the political system, they are still being marginalized. They are still being ostracized. So why politics? And why the United Independent Movement? I don't know a lot about politics, but one thing that I do know is that I'm reading about it, is that I'm growing in it, and I desire to continue to grow in it. Because I'm telling you one thing, that South Africa is not going to become better if we just become silent and say nothing. We might not know everything. I'm not the smartest guy when it comes to politics. I'm not even the smartest guy in general. I've just decided to not be silent. I've just decided to make my voice heard. I've just decided that together with Neil de Beer, together with Jacques Taljaard, together with Fatima Abdul, together with the NEC leadership of the United Independent Movement, together, we are going to minimize crime in South Africa. I love the word minimize because that speaks about our integrity as a political party. The word minimize shows our integrity because it means that we will not overpromise and underdeliver. We will minimize crime in South Africa. 2, we will remove every corrupt leader once we come into power. We will ensure that every leader who's operating and who endorses corruption be removed. 3, we will ensure that the capital of South Africa comes back into the communities and the cities and ultimately comes back into South Africa as a whole. Because the capital of South Africa must come back to the people of South Africa so that the infrastructural development of South Africa can go to a better place so that South Africa can ultimately become what we know it can be. Here's the deal. You pay tax. And when you pay tax, you deserve to drive on proper roads. You deserve to have water. You deserve to have the basic necessities. You deserve that. As a tax-paying citizen in South Africa, you deserve that. So 1, we will minimize crime. 2, we will bring an end to corruption. 3, we will ensure that the capital of South Africa comes back into South Africa and that the tax that South Africans are paying in South Africa, that they actually get reciprocated for their tax. Reciprocated in the sense where they will have sanitation, proper housing, and just proper living conditions. I mean, it's just basic common sense. So it's crime that will be minimized, corruption that will be removed, and it is the capital that will be brought back into South Africa so that South Africa can ultimately become a better place. Last 2, Constitution. The United Independent Movement will be and is a leadership that understands how the Constitution must have the final say. The United Independent Movement will not regulate the Constitution to suit and benefit its own personal needs and desires. The United Independent Movement will not hide money away under their beds. Did I just say that? The United Independent Movement will understand that integrity, authenticity, and bravery is what this country needs. You know why people aren't voting anymore? You know why you don't know who you need to vote for? Because you've been disappointed. You don't know who to trust. You don't know which leader to trust. You're sitting back and you're looking towards 2024 and you're like, where do I make my X? There's no leadership in South Africa. There's no trust in South Africa. There are so many non-voters who's never voted in their lives before simply because they just have given up. They've given up. They just don't want to vote. They just don't want to trust again. Or they just don't trust at all. So we will ensure that we don't regulate the Constitution according to our own personal needs and desires. And 5, we will bring Christ back into schools. That's where I am now. I'm at the school. And there the family is waiting for me. They're waiting for me so that we can go and see the principal. Family, I can run around every day. I can drive around. I can drive around. I can drive around every day. I can drive around every night. I can fetch many females together with Lindsay. We can fetch many males. We can get as many houses, help as many addicts. But until the right leadership stands in parliament, until the right laws are passed in South Africa, are we really winning? Are we really winning? I can do school assembly after school assembly. I can travel to Cape Town. I can travel to East London. I can travel to every province and do school assemblies. But every child that hears my voice will ultimately then get into a system that's controlled and governed by politics. Family, until we get the right leaders in the right positions will continuously be filled with the wrong leaders. We need people in parliament who understands integrity, who understands honor, who understands respect. And until we come together, until we understand, politics is our lives, controls our lives. Let's get you. I don't even know why I said all of that, but yeah. So now you know. I'm passionate about politics. I'm passionate about church. I'm passionate about the addict and his family. And those three things together is what I have committed my life to. So you will see me post more about that. Family, we can go. As lekker koud, ne? Huh? Gaan ons hier. Moeder, gaan we maar sê wat geven.
Die was een brief.
Is nie hier nie.
Nee, het was maar net 'n plain en simpel ding.
Okay.
Ek moet by die polisiestasie gaan 'n affidavit gaan maak.
Ja.
En gaan sê ek fokus met volg my om te doen. Maar is nou wanneer ek leef en al daai, dan moet ek dit nog terug bring van nou 11:00.
Ja.
Gaan sy die punte van June aanhandig en sy sê sy wil dit so aanhandig. Anders se gaan ons certificate uitkom as 00.
So wat moet ons nou doen?
Ek moet op die polisiestasie gaan vir affidavit maak.
Okay, let's go.
Maar ek het die ID's, ek nodig my ID keer van sy. Ek moet nou eers terug gaan huis toe.
Let's go. Ons op sommer een trip maak, sommer julle karens. Okay, so what's happening here now is maybe moeder kan dit gou explain hier, né? Dat die mense net sien.
Moet ek Afrikaans, ek gaan
Ja.
Afrikaans.
Yeah. So you see what I was saying about the system, right?
Yes.
Moeder kan Afrikaans praat, ja. Waar is die kar?
Oh, daar is ook nog.
Ja, dan kan ek sommer over live mos. So you see what I spoke about? I just spoke about it now, right? The system. So this mother's going to explain to you how and I'm telling you, this is a system. So she's going to explain to you how she now has to go through unnecessary processes just to ensure that she preserves the future of her child. So ek gaan die camera flip, dan kan moeder praat, né?
Okay, good morning everybody. I'm on my way now to the police station. I came from ELDORADO now, where my child was doing his matric. They're sending me to go to the police station. I must make an affidavit to state that I prefer that he will do his matric over next year. Yeah, and then they'll send a
letter of confirmation.
Yeah, letter of confirmation will be sent to the department so that he'll be able to do it next year.
Awesome. Awesome. So there you have it. Can you see, family? That's it, man. That is it. That is it. So what we have to do now is I just got here. I left my car. I'm in the back seat. I hope these people can drive, everybody. So yeah. At least one of them has a seat belt on. No, I'm joking. So we're on our way now to the house of this mother to get the documentation that's required. Then we're gonna go to the police station, get the affidavit, and then we're gonna go back to the school. That's just the processes that we have to go through. But while I'm on this topic here, let me just state this, that I haven't been in politics for very long. But I have been helping the addicts and their families for the last 8, if not 9 to 10 years now. This is our 8th year of being established as an organization, and we've been building, we've been growing, we've been empowering the addict, we've been trying to ensure that we put our best foot forward to bring the change that's required in our communities, and just to build better people, because better people ultimately builds better communities. And in the process of us going through that, many individuals came to the end of their program. And when some of those individuals came to the end of their program, some of them only had grade 10, some had grade 9, some did not even have any form of education. Then over the years as an organization, we knew that we had to do more than just bring an addict to a point of recovery and introduce them back into society with only recovery. Because what does that individual do? What do they do when they sit at home and they've got no certificate, no further education to go and work a job or even to get a job? So now they become jobless, and there is nothing as dangerous to an addict then there's nothing as dangerous to a recovering addict than him being recovered without a job. Because then he gets bored, he gets entangled with the wrong friends again, and then the cycle just continues over and over and over and over again. So what are we really producing into our communities when we are only producing into our communities recovering addicts? What are we really doing? So we got to take it to the point where we must ensure that if we are going to bring effective change, if we are going to bring lasting change, if we are going to bring change that has within it longevity, sustainability and growth, then we must get to a point where we marry restoration and education. That's important. And the third element to that is also the importance of spirituality. The need for spirituality is something that must become another high priority again within our communities. Oh, it's warm in die kar. Ek wonder mos hoekom sweat ek so. So what I'm saying is that what we must do is we must again introduce the need for spirituality, the need for church, the need for fathering, the need to be committed to spiritual values and spiritual principles. You know, values, principles protects us. It governs us. And without spirituality, we become a law unto ourselves. And that's when destruction begins to happen. That's when our community starts to deteriorate, because we're living in a lawless society. We're living in an independent society. We're living in a fatherless community. And until we get the basics right, until we all channel towards getting the basics right, our communities will always look towards the empty promises of politicians to better their future. And I'm saying that we must do better as a people. So I'm here with the family. I'm going to give you guys an update soon. God bless you, family. Have a good day.